half of the doubleheader for Columbus State as the Lady Cougars take down Georgia College 79-55. Now we turn our attentions to the second half of the double dip as the men will get set to tip off in just a matter of moments here on the floor of the Lumpkin Center. Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams with you as we get set here on Cougar Sports TV for CSU and Georgia College. Columbus State 10-7 overall, 4-6 in conference play. Georgia College 7-10 overall, 3-7 in PBC play. Earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with Cougar head coach Robert Moore prior to today's tip-off. Cougar head coach Robert Moore with us as we get set for Georgia College on this Saturday afternoon. Coach, before we get into any of the game stuff, alumni weekend for you all, how has that been this weekend with some of the old guys coming back?
Oh, it's been great. We had a nice dinner last night. Got some donations. That's the big thing. Got some guys to donate some money to the program, and that was big. We're just trying to start this off. We hadn't did it in a few years, just trying to get more guys to give back to the program. And I think once you set a foundation for that, it can move on in a positive direction. We just want our guys to know that there's a lot of people in the community that care about you, and former players are one of them.
You look back, it's been a week since you played. It's been a rather odd time with the game not happening on Wednesday, then not happening on Thursday. So let's go back to last Saturday, Georgia Southwestern, a game in which you fell behind early, had to come back, were able to, and just weren't able to close it out.
I was real disappointed in our guys from the beginning of the game because I didn't think we had the energy and enthusiasm to play on the road. We got down by 17, came back and took the lead by 2. With about 2 minutes to go in the game and just couldn't finish it out. I thought we had 2 bad possessions on offense that kind of killed us. We ever get in that situation again, I think we just got to execute better in those situations. I think we'll be fine.
The weird week, the way it was it difficult on you to try to prepare and then not know what was coming on and things like that?
Oh, yeah. I think anytime you have some kind of adversity and the weather is bad and you always want to think first the safety of the players, we was able to get some practice time in because a lot of our guys stay on campus and they could walk to the gym, so that was good. But anytime you lose your rhythm and what you're trying to do, and now we got a routine about what's going on, and we missed that game on Wednesday, so you feel kind of how well we're going to get out and play today on Saturday, and we hadn't played since last Saturday. But we'll adjust to it. We're playing at home. We usually play pretty well at home, but Georgia College is a good basketball team. Terry Sellers, one of the oldest coaches in the league that's been around for a while, so it'll be a tough game for us today.
The way you look at it, you had to prepare for North Georgia all the way up until Thursday because you didn't know, so it makes this the equivalent of a short week and a short preparation.
Oh, no doubt. And I think the main thing about that is that I got a great staff. You know, Coach Ben Hicks was doing the scout on North Georgia. Then I took it upon myself to start doing some early preparation for Georgia College. So we felt like we was prepared. We wish we'd had more time to spend on Georgia College since we didn't play the game against North Georgia, but you know, that's the way it turned out, and we'll be ready to play today.
A week like this when you didn't have to play, how valuable is that late in the season, especially with a team like yours that's been banged up?
Oh, I think the rest helped us a lot. It gave Saline time to, you know, get his injuries healed, ankle, and those kind of things. So I think late in the season, though, with our depth, I think our guys that come off the bench got to give us more minutes and do some more things for us because everybody going to be banged up this time of year.
Georgia College, you mentioned Terry Sellers has been there. This is year 21 for them. Probably not a whole lot of secrets about what he's trying to do. What do they look like offensively?
Offensively, they're going to just they're trying a new offense now called a dribble drive. So they create a lot of pressure on your defense by driving in the lane. So we did a lot of work on that the last 2 days of trying to keep them out of the lane. Dribble penetration hurts you. He don't have that one guy that stands out that you got to guard, but they got some good players and good role players that I think make them a tough team. And they're going to battle all night long. So our guys got to understand that. Just play with great intensity and keep battling all night.
On the dribble drive, do you have to help off, or can you not help because the shooter's on the outside?
You can't give too much help because once a guy steps up, he dumps it off to a guy for a layup, and you don't want to give up layups in this game. So a lot of times we tell our guys to stay focused on your man and making sure he don't drive it. If we have to give help, we will, but more than likely we want to just stay solid on our guy.
And then on your offensive end, how do you attack what they're doing?
I think we got to push in transition, try to create some easy buckets off our defense. And at the same time, we got to go inside to Shane Hayward. I mean, he hadn't had a great game in the last 2 games. We got to try to get him going. And now we got Kenny back in the starting lineup. We got to get both of those guys going so we can get some offense started.
We're down the stretch here in conference play. Not too many games left, second half of the season. Is there a number in your head that you're looking at and saying, if we can do this down the stretch, we'll be good?
When we had that stretch home stretch with Flagler and Armstrong, we sat as a team in a meeting and said it's 12 games left. We're 2-1 in that stretch now with 9 games to play. And I told our guys our magic number is to be somewhere between 8-4, 9-3 in this 12-game stretch, and I still think we can do that. We got to win some games on the road, but we hadn't played very well on the road. I thought the second half of Georgia Southwestern we played well. If we can continue that, we can get that magic number 8-4, 9-3, and be able to get a good seed in the tournament.
Coach, big game today. We're looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Thanks, Steve.
Moments away from tip here inside the Lumpkin Center, Georgia College and Columbus State. Second half of our doubleheader here on Cougar Sports TV, and we're going to send things across the way for our starting lineups with public address announcer Brian Salido. Columbus State trying to get back in the win column after a loss at Georgia Southwestern 86-80 1 week ago. Georgia College trying to get back in the win column as well, as they've lost 2 in a row, losing to USC Aiken and Young Harris. The Bobcats will go with Royal Thomas, Terrell Harris, Aaron Robinson, and Laurentis Thomas, along with Ryan Blumenthal, as they go ultra small across the board. 5 guards in the starting lineup for Terry Sellers' team. For CSU, it'll be Shane Hayward and D'Angelo Kirkland in the center, where they'll have a clear size advantage, along with Jamad Salim at the point guard spot, BJ Battle and RJ Sessions out on the wing. CSU in the home whites, Georgia College in the road greens. It'll be Hayward to jump it up with Laurentis Thomas in the center. CSU working right to left as you're looking at it. And it's officially game time here inside the Lumpkin Center. Georgia College with the opening possession, working with it, trying to snap the 2-game losing streak. These two teams meeting now for the 67th time all-time. These two Peach Belt Conference charter members. CSU holding a decisive 43-23 edge all-time through the first 66 meetings, including a 21-5 mark here in Columbus. Shot clock down to 5. The kick out. This is Robinson with it. He'll kick out Blumenthal. Will they get a shot off? Blumenthal does, and he knocks it down from the baseline. It took the full 35 seconds, but Blumenthal buries the jumper and puts Georgia College in front. Last season, these two split their 2 meetings, as the women did, winning on their home courts. CSU won 72-69 here in Columbus. Georgia College winning an ugly game, 59-51 in Milledgeville. BJ Battle from the left wing. They left him open, backed off, and BJ Battle knocked it down. Two programs battling near the middle of the Peach Belt's Western Division. Big time game for the two of them. Shot blocked by Hayward. Kirkland on the run out, trying to run with it. To the other end, the finger roll from Kirkland is good. D'Angelo Kirkland, his first basket. Shane Hayward, though, made that one happen. Shane with block number 48 now. He's second in the conference in blocks per game, getting nearly 3 of them per. CSU has been good on its home floor this season as they kick it out. Georgia College a little reluctant to fire early on. Robert Moore told you this is the offense they run. Dribble into the middle and kick. Dribble and drive. To the rim, the finger roll doesn't go down for Terrell Harris. And Hayward rips the rebound away from his post partner, Kirkland. Sessions off the screen. Has it roll out. CSU in this building this season, 9-2. And the 2 games they've lost, they've given away. Sessions, speak of a giveaway, takes it away. And the layup doesn't go through, and Jamad Salim knocks it away, last touched by Robinson of Georgia College. CSU, it's 11 games here. They've only lost to Montevallo and Francis Marion on this court. In both of those games, they led by double digits in the second half. So they have been as close to perfect on this court as you can be. Kirkland double teamed, skip pass. Battle drops underneath. Hayward makes the catch. Double teamed as well. Needs to give it up. Finally able to do so. Jamad Salim at the point guard position creates for RJ Sessions. And RJ doing what RJ does best. Knocking it down from outside. The freshman from Columbus Northside High School has his first. RJ averaged less than 6 points per game in the first semester prior to Christmas break. Since the Christmas holidays, he's averaging nearly 15 points per game and has upped his average now to an even 10 per. The up and under move doesn't go down for Laurentis Thomas, who ends up getting his own miss. In the corner, Harris a 3. Off the rim, RJ Sessions the rebound, and CSU will try to push the tempo. Battle in transition, falling away from 15 feet. Missed the shot. CSU's going to push the tempo today. Expect to see them try to run it up and down the floor quite often. Georgia College will give up points. They're giving up 78 per game in conference play, and an offensive foul drawn by RJ Sessions goes against Royal Thomas. Sub coming in for Georgia College. It'll be Will Clifton in place of Blumenthal. Dimitri Davis off the bench for CSU, as is Jermaine Morgan. As CSU will go small to match the small that Georgia College has on the floor. They pull both post players out and put Morgan and Davis out there, who are not guards, but they're smaller forwards. A lot of guard right now on the floor for both teams. Morgan trying to get position underneath. The pass was swatted away by Thomas. First turnover of the game committed by the Cougars, who lead it 8-2. 4 minutes and change gone by. Second half of our doubleheader here on this Saturday afternoon. One game separates these two teams inside the Peach Belt Conference. CSU would love to add some more separation. Put a little breathing room with them in that 4th spot. Shot clock at 7. Clifton off a screen. Picked up by Sessions, who switched it. Shot clock at 1. He has to heave it, and that's going to get nothing but the backboard. Shot clock violation, and the ball back to CSU. 15:20 to go in the first half. 8-2 our score, and our first media timeout of game number 2. CSU off to a fast start. They lead it by 6 over Georgia College here on Cougar Sports TV. It's an early 8-2 lead for the Cougars out of the gates. 15-20 to go in this first half. Kenny Funderburk into the game for the first time for CSU. The leading scorer for the Cougars at just under 16 points per game. Had 22 on Saturday in the loss at Georgia Southwestern. They'd love to get him touches early and get him going, and he gets a touch here out near the midcourt stripe. Funderburk had 22. Jamad Salim had a career-high 23 on Saturday in the loss, as Funderburk has that one stripped from him by Clifton. Robinson underneath, drops it off for Thomas, and Laurentis Thomas has the first two for him today. Funderburk driving, kicks it out from the corner. RJ Sessions missed the three. Rebound tapped in the hands of Clifton. Ball deflected. Georgia College able to keep it, though. Georgia College coming in here today, 7-10 for the year. They were 9-17 last year. Terry Sellers in his 21st year there in Milledgeville as the head coach, as they get an easy one on the backside. Terrell Harris makes it 4 in a row for Georgia College to cut it to 2 at 8-6. Most recent game for them was at Young Harris a week ago today. Good Mountain Lions squad up there at Young Harris. Beat them by 8, 79-71 as Dimitri Davis misses his first attempt. And a travel coming up on the part of Harris. Gives it right back. That's turnover number 4 on the part of Georgia College. Brian Hill into the game, as is Robert Armstrong for Georgia College. David Wagner also out there for the Bobcats. So a couple of new faces. Ty Harris will come in at the point guard position for CSU in place of Jamad Salim. Sessions off the screen from the left side, too strong. Rebound grabbed high by Harris. So RJ, a little cold early on in this one. He's 1 of 5 from the field. CSU holding on to a 2-point edge here. Closing in on 7 minutes gone by. Shot clock down to 5 as it runs low again on the Bobcats. Hill, double teamed, has to give it up. Wagner didn't realize the shot clock was running out, and that's the second time that Georgia College has been hit with a 35-second violation. So twice now CSU has defended for the full 35 and gotten the stop. Already 5 turnovers committed by the Bobcats. CSU's turned it into just 3 points, though. Harris creating for Funderburk, who couldn't get a shot off. They'll kick it out. Battle gets a look, left wing. And BJ has his second from downtown. Good ball movement that time from CSU, working it around the perimeter. A 3-man game that time between Davis, Funderburk, and Battle resulted in an open 3. BJ is a night and day different player here on this home floor. And we looked at the numbers the other day, and it is a stark difference as Georgia College turns it over again. Hayward and Kirkland will come back for CSU as Blumenthal comes back for Georgia College. For BJ, 15 points per game at home. He gets just 6 per game on the road. So he loves playing in this building, and he's also very good when CSU wins. Usually when he's good, CSU is good, as Kirkland is fouled on the rebound that time from behind by Wagner. Foul goes against Wagner. It's his first. Laurentis Thomas comes in place of Wagner to sub in. When CSU wins, BJ's getting about 15 points per game. When CSU loses, he's getting 7. So he's much better at home, and CSU generally gets good games out of him when they win. Kirkland to the rim, and the big guy putting it on the floor and has his second layup of the game for his 4th point. So So CSU out to a 7-point edge now, its largest lead at 13-6. 11:35 and counting in this first half. Blumenthal left wing. Good close out by Kirkland. Again, Georgia College letting this shot clock just wind down on every possession. It's down to 7 now. Thomas gets all the way to the rim. Hayward discouraged the shot. 3 opportunities at it. The rebound goes out of bounds. Last touched by Kirkland. 11:17 to go. 13-6 the score, and the under-12 media timeout. CSU still in front, this time by 7 with a timeout on the floor. Stephen Williams back here with you courtside inside the Lumpkin Center. 11:17 to go in the opening half, 13-6. Columbus State leading Georgia College in the second of our doubleheader. Blumenthal off the inbounds, right in front of Robert Moore. Has the 3 fall out. Bounced around a couple of times and came off. Ty Harris streaking to the other end, and Harris splits everyone defensively for the layup. Ty offers that change of pace that Jamad Salim doesn't. Jamad more of a controller of the offense, a good passer. Ty a guy, though, that gets out and is great in transition. Hayward sends that one flying, but a foul coming up before the shot attempt against B.J. Battle. Foul on B.J. is his first. It's the first of the half committed by CSU. They're going to say Thomas was in the act of shooting. So Laurentis Thomas to the free throw line, averaging 11 points per game. Listed at 6'3", 187 pounds, a junior from McDonough, Georgia. A guy at 6'3" who's 4th in the PBC in rebounding, grabbing nearly 9 rebounds a game, so it's quite impressive for a guy standing just 6'3". There's not much size, though, when you look up and down this Georgia College roster. One guy at 6'7", one guy at 6'8". Nothing else near that. B.J. Battle, a high arcing 3, bounces off to the back. Active hands from B.J. that time, deflected it into the CSU bench. 15-8 the score. Columbus State up by 7, closing in on the midway point of the first half. Armstrong cut off on the baseline by Hayward, drops it to Thomas underneath, using his body to create space, got his own miss, and can't get the second one. Had 2 clean looks, and finally Kirkland rips it off the rim. Harris, that change of pace and on that hesitation, put the hand underneath the basketball and carried it. The turnover is the 3rd committed by CSU, and it's back to Georgia College. Kelvin Wanzi into the game for the first time, a freshman from Nigeria for Georgia College, out there playing underneath as Shane Hayward gets his 2nd block of the game. Harris, long outlet. Funderburk, the tough catch, and the lay-in. Pinpoint pass from Ty Harris, and Kenny Funderburk made the catch like a wide receiver going up in traffic, and then an athletic move to lay it up on the rim for the transition basket, and a timeout called by Terry Sellers. That pass left the hands of Ty Harris from three-quarters court, and you weren't sure if it was going to get all the way there, but it did. Funderburk went up and got it, came down, controlled his body, and was able to lay it up and in for his first basket of the night to make it a 17-8 game and make it a 9-point lead. .9:42 on the clock, 17-8, CSU in front. Georgia College scored the opening basket. CSU then scored 8 in a row, and they have led ever since. Trying to fight back after a loss on the road at Georgia Southwestern on Saturday. Wanzi hemmed up in the corner. Funderburk finally ties him up, and the arrow in CSU's favor. Wanzi was stuck in that corner. Harris and Funderburk were harassing him, and Kinney finally tied it up and earned the turnover. It's already 7 committed by Georgia College. Chance to open up a double-digit margin for CSU in this first half. That's quite common for the Cougars in this season. Funderburk, long 2 off the back iron. Rebound grabbed by Blumenthal. CSU has been very, very good in the first half of games this season as Blumenthal lost it on the way up. Well, the referees say there was a reason he lost it, as the foul will go against B.J. Battle, and that'll be his second. So only 2 fouls committed by CSU, and both of them by Battle. So with 8:49 to go, he'll likely sit down with his second. It's Ryan Blumenthal at the line. RJ Sessions will come in place of Battle, so we'll see how long Robert Moore chooses to sit BJ. 8:49 left in this first half, and he is the leading scorer in the game already with 6. Blumenthal perfect at the line, gets them both, makes it a 7-point game, and he has 4 already. Hayward trying to get a touch underneath. Robinson squirted in from behind, though, to poke it away. All the way to the other end. Thomas missed the shot. The layup attempt or the follow attempt was blocked by Harris. CSU out running with it. Funderburk stepped on the baseline. CSU trying to turn a turnover into a basket on the other end, something they haven't done well in this ball game. Unable to do so on that attempt, so it stays a 7-point game at 17-10. Again, Georgia College in no hurry to get things up on the rim as Royal Thomas hangs in the air that time. Used his body to create some space and banked it in. Hayward, again in the center of the Georgia College zone. The spin, the hook wasn't there. Kirkland blocked from behind on the second attempt. 17-12, 5-point game. CSU in front. Low-scoring affair in the first half here at Columbus State. 7:47 to go. Media timeout on the floor. 7 of 17 from the field for Columbus State in the first half, shooting 41%. Georgia College is 4 of 15, but they have made the only 4 free throws of this one to help them stay close. 17-12, CSU with the basketball. Shot clock at 24 on the inbounds. Jamad Salim back in to run the point for the team, setting up the offense. Sessions from the corner, rattled out. Jermaine Morgan, the offensive rebound. The pass to Shane Hayward, and Shane with the second chance points for the Cougars. Nice job by Jermaine Morgan to create that basket for Columbus State. Seven-point game again in a rather stoic Lumpkin Center. Thomas lost it at first, and then on the back end, Laurentis Thomas able to lay it in. So he has 6. Back to a 5-point game. Cougars needing to do something here to excite some people in this building. Decent crowd on hand, just not a very noisy one at the moment. Funderburk will try his hand from outside, and that'll do a little work. Kinney from beyond the arc buries the 3, and it's an 8-point lead. Funderburk doesn't take too many from downtown. He's just a 24% shooter from back there, but he has the ability to do it. Thomas has it taken away from him, and Kenny Funderburk tied it up for the jump ball on the block. This time the arrow pointing the Georgia College direction, so they'll keep it with 6:33 on the clock and 21 on the shot clock. Baseball going on right now for Columbus State in Livingston, Alabama, as they're taking on West Alabama in the season opener, as Blumenthal misses again from outside. CSU softball was supposed to start about 10 minutes ago, so we'll see if we can get a check-in on them as well, as they're taking on St. Leo in the second game of their day after they opened their season with a 5-2 victory over Lynn earlier. Underneath, Hayward in a triple team. Thought he got hit on the arm, no call as the shot barely touched the rim. Royal Thomas, acrobatic shot, but it wasn't near the rim, and then Harris lost it on the way up, out of bounds, and it'll belong to CSU. Terry Sellers doesn't agree, sporting the Georgia College green blazer, the hunter green as it's described. So an 8-point game and a second opportunity for CSU here to try to get into double-digit lead. Salim drives baseline, has his shot blocked by Thomas, and then Jermaine Morgan blocked on the way up to the attempt of a jump ball. Arrow pointing at CSU, so they'll keep it with 19 on the shot clock. 5:40 to go, 22-14, CSU by 8. Shot clock at 10 as Jamad Salim sets up the offense. Salim gets it back. The kick out. Morgan's going to drive. The floater, too strong. Laurentis Thomas, the rebound. They've had a couple of looks at the basket, trying to get a lead out into double digits, and have been unable to do so. Again, Georgia College very methodical on the offensive end. The shot by Laurentis Thomas blocked by Morgan. CSU in transition now with it. Funderburk, right baseline. Too strong. Rebound tapped by Morgan. Saved inbounds by Harris of Georgia College in a game in which the offensive numbers are not lighting anything up at the moment. CSU, the men not shooting anything like what the women did in game number 1. If you missed it in the first half of the doubleheader, the Lady Cougars shot 65% over the first 20 minutes on their way to a 16-point lead at halftime and a 24-point victory. Harris dribbling through all kinds of traffic, missed the layup short, and CSU has a 5-on-2. Sessions will take it all by himself. He misses, but the advantage of numbers gives Kenny Funderburk a weak side rebound and stick back. Double digits indeed now. The lead for CSU at 10, 24-14 with 4:05 to go. Kenny Funderburk has 7 points. CSU generally one that likes to play higher scoring games, but right now winning in a low scoring affair. Funderburk leading it the other way, trying to add on. RJ Sessions from the corner, rattled in and out. Offensive rebound and follow. Jamad Salim that time, and Terry Sellers needs another timeout. CSU beating Georgia College to the glass on the last two possessions, and they've opened up a 12-point edge. 3:42 showing on the clock here in the Lumpkin Center. 26-14, CSU in front. Stephen Williams back here with you inside the Lumpkin Center. It's 26-14. Columbus State is on top of Georgia College late in this first half. 3.5 minutes to go. CSU settling into a zone now. Continuing to change up the looks on Georgia College, and Kenny Funderburk reads the passing lane well, has the steal, and a nice job by Robinson to commit the foul hard enough so that Funderburk wouldn't make it an and one, but Kenny will head to the free throw line where 2 free throws would double up Georgia College if he can knock them both down. Media timeout on the floor now, 3:17 to go, our final one of this first half. 26-14, still CSU in front. It's Kenny Funderburk at the foul line after the timeout. The junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, already with 7 points in the game, is the game leader at the moment, and a chance to tack on 2 more after Robinson committed the foul in transition. Kenny has 20 points or more in 7 games this season. He's one of 5 players inside the Peach Belt Conference to have at least that many 20-point performances, as he has been everything they could have hoped he would be when they signed him out of Aiken Tech, the junior college in South Carolina. When they signed him, they mentioned that, hey, this is a guy that's a big-time scorer, a very good player, and he has been every bit of that. 28-14 the score. CSU up by 14, its largest lead of the game. Clifton, mid-range shot over Kirkland. The shot wasn't there. Rebound tipped into the hands of Nick Turner, who just checked into the game. Funderburk in transition, drives at the rim, and they're going to hit him with the offensive foul, running over Laurentis Thomas. Foul on Funderburk is his first. Only 3 fouls per side in this half, so fouls not an issue. BJ Battle, though, did manage to pick up 2 in this half. CSU is going to go with some full court defense as Alex Reed hits the floor for the first time in the game with the basketball and needing some help. And it's a 10-second violation. Georgia College unable to get the ball across the midcourt line, and CSU gets the turnover. So put Georgia College in double figures now in turnovers, as Terry Sellers talking with the official in front of the scorer's table, not happy with the 10-second call. Shot clock was at 25, or 24 rather, when they blew that whistle. So CSU gets the turnover. So far, 10 turnovers, and CSU's turned it into 10 points. They've done a better job of late with that. Trying to continue to stretch it out. Salim spins into the lane, kicks it back out, had nowhere to go with it. Still a ton of time on the shot clock, no hurry. Kirkland drives baseline, stops up under the rim. The left-handed shot doesn't go, but Dimitri Davis got fingertips on it and tipped it back into the basket, and it's a 16-point game. Georgia College now has not scored in over 5 minutes. 7-10 was when Laurentis Thomas hit their last basket. Robinson can't put an end to it. Long rebound grab by Kirkland. He's going to run with it and then wisely choose to slow it down. Salim off to Davis. Another basket for CSU. And you could tell Terry Sellers wanted to take another timeout there, but he's already spent 2 of his 5. He doesn't want to blow another one in this first half. 18-point game. It's a 13-0 CSU run. Blumenthal's runner not there. And the run will continue. Salim rushing it the other way. His shot goes up. No, it went down. Wipe it off, though. An offensive foul coming up against the Cougar point guard. That's his first, the 4th against CSU. Ty Harris and Brandon Dawson into the game for the Cougars. Salim and Funderburk will sit down. 1:17 to go, though. It's an 18-point game, 32-14. Just 14 points for Georgia College in this first half. It is an astoundingly low number. Bad-looking shot from Thomas there, barely touched the rim. As we hit 1 minute to go, Harris got the body bump and didn't get the shot. Blumenthal pump fakes, but stays on the floor. Blumenthal can't handle the pass. Nick Turner on a run out, all alone, and he'll do the wise thing and just lay it in. No flash, no flare. Nick Turner, though, made it count. 20-point lead, 30 seconds to go. There's about a 1.5 seconds difference between the two clocks. We're closing in on 7 minutes without a point for Georgia College. And now they'll go to work. Blumenthal drops it off. Reed from the right side finally gets a basket for them with 5 seconds to go to put an end to that run. Harris has to heave from half court. It'll count if it goes. It's off to the right. Alex Reed puts an end to the bleeding right before the break as he knocks down a 3 to make it a 34-17 game at half. But it was 7 minutes and 5 seconds between baskets for Georgia College in this first half to close it out. CSU ran off 15 unanswered points, and they lead it by 17 as they go to the locker room at the break. First half scoring looks like this. Kenny Funderburk is the leader. He has 9. 6 for B.J. Battle, who picked up 2 fouls. 4 for Dimitri Davis and D'Angelo Kirkland, 3 for R.J. Sessions, and 2 each for Hayward, Salim, Harris, and Turner. On the other side for the Bobcats, Laurentis Thomas with 6, Blumenthal with 4, Reed with 3, Royal Thomas and Terrell Harris with 2 each. As they go to the locker room, 34-17 your score. CSU doubling up the Bobcats in the second game of our doubleheader. 20 more minutes to go. Halftime break. They head to the locker room. We'll take the break with them. When we come back, we'll take a look at your Peach Belt Conference standings, and we'll get an update from across the Peach Belt Conference and also the rest of the sports going on in Columbus State Athletics on this Saturday afternoon. At the break, 34-17, Columbus State on top. Stephen Williams back here with you courtside inside the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia on Cougar Sports TV. At the break, 34-17, Columbus State in front of Georgia College as we get set for the second half of action. Columbus State searching for its 11th victory of the season, trying to get to 5-6 and a step closer to 500 inside conference play. Across the conference, it's a jumbled mess in the Western Division in the middle of the pack. Young Harris at 5-4 sits in the third spot. And again, they don't factor into the final standings as far as who gets to the conference tournament. Then it's CSU and North Georgia at 4-6. Those two were supposed to play on Wednesday night, but didn't because of all the snow. They had that game postponed to a later date. A win here for Georgia College, which they would have some work to do, but if they could get one, they'd put themselves right back into the mix. A loss, and they're going to fall 2 games behind CSU in the division. And right now, they are the first team out of the Peach Belt Conference tournament later. Clayton State still within striking distance down there because the Western Division not all that strong outside of the top 2 this year inside the Peach Belt. The Eastern Division is very top-heavy as well. Aiken, Georgia Regents, and Lander are the best teams on that side by far. And then it's a massive gap before you get to the rest of the league in that one. Columbus State, though, a lot of games left with Western Division opponents down the stretch, so they'll have plenty of chances to try to gain back in and play for seeding inside the Peach Belt Conference. 34-17 the score as we head back onto the floor for half number 2. Columbus State will go with its starting 5, Kirkland and Hayward, along with Battle, Sessions, and Jamad Salim. And on the other side for Georgia College, they'll go with Blumenthal, Robinson, Harris, and both of the Thomases. So they're starting 5 as well as we start the second half with Georgia College in possession of the basketball. Georgia College went 7 minutes between points in that first half. From 7:10 to 8 seconds to go, they did not score a point, and the lead went from 5 all the way out to 20, and then a 3 by Alex Reed right before the horn made it a 17-point game at half. That shot's an air ball. Shot clock doesn't reset, but in the right spot at the right time was Royal Thomas finding a cutting Terrell Harris to the basket for an easy 2. So 5 in a row for Georgia College after being down 20. CSU has had an issue this season holding on to leads. 8 times this season they've led by 10 at a juncture in the game, had the opponent come all the way back and take the lead or tie it. They're hoping to avoid that today. Hayward missed his first opportunity of the half. And now Georgia College a chance to make it 7 in a row, and they do as Royal Thomas with the up and under. So all of a sudden, it's a 13-point game. Still comfortable for CSU at the moment, but you wonder the closer Georgia College is able to pull, if CSU starts to get in its own head a little bit, knowing that they've had some leads get away from them. Kirkland to the rim, off the glass. It went halfway down and fell out. So a chance to keep it going now. Georgia College was very methodical in that first half. In no rush ever to score the basketball. That's the reason they had 14 points with 10 seconds to go. Shot clock at 10 now. Robinson with it, top of the key. Swing it into the corner, shot clock at 4. Harris to the rim, falling right with the lay-in with 1 on the shot clock, and Robert Moore has to take a timeout. Not a good start to the second half for the Cougars. The game is down to 11, 34-23. 6 unanswered to start the half from Georgia College. Georgia College on a 9-0 run dating back to the first half when they hit a 3 for the last basket of the first 20 minutes. They scored the first 6 here in the second half. And CSU allowing the opponent to cut it from 20 down to 11. They need a basket to put an end to it. Hayward gets good position, and that's excellent execution out of the timeout by Robert Moore's bunch. Shane Hayward, great size advantage against Georgia College in this one, and that time just won the battle with positioning and had an easy lay-in. Great play drawn up by Robert Moore out of a timeout, but another easy one underneath on the opposite side for the Bombcats as Royal Thomas gets one from in close. 4 layups to start this half for Georgia College. RJ Sessions, bottom of the net from beyond the arc. RJ with his second from downtown. That's his 6 points for the game. Just 2 of 9 from the field as he struggled in that first half. CSU's got to find a way to take away the interior. All layups right now for Georgia College. Laurentis Thomas missed his opportunity, and CSU now trying to push the tempo. Sessions, heat check from the corner. Bounces around and falls out. Kirkland, the last one to touch it. Shots have been just a little off for RJ so far in this ball game. The streaky shooter that can shoot teams out of the gym. Today, though, just 2 of 10 from the field. Foul coming up from behind as Blumenthal tried to make the catch. It goes against Hayward. It's his first. All in all, CSU didn't play that great of a first half. They played great defensively. Held Georgia College to 23%, 6 of 26 from the field, but they shot just 42% from the field. They turned it over 7 times. It wasn't that CSU ran Georgia College out of here with great offense the way that the Lady Cougars did in game number 1. It was more of the suffocated Georgia College defensively and had enough offense to pull away. Again, a lot of passing from Georgia College into the corner now. Harris drives baseline around the rim, got it up and around Shane Hayward. Terry Sellers, whatever adjustments they made at halftime are working because Georgia College is getting everything from right in front of the rim at the moment. BJ Battle, open left corner, around and out. Now a chance here to get it down to 10 or even 9 if they could hit one from outside. Harris trying for another one, this time a jump shot. Missed it and couldn't run his own rebound down. He touched it last, and it'll belong to CSU. 15:30 to go, immediate timeout on the floor. CSU up by 12, 39-27. Georgia College has trimmed 5 points off the lead in the first 4.5 minutes of this second half. They trailed by 17 at the break, as much as 20 in the first half. They have it within 12, though, early stages of the second here inside the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia. CSU trying to work the ball around the perimeter. The skip pass for BJ Battle taken away. Kirkland with defenders all around him, able to knock it down. Kirkland with 6. Georgia College again forcing the CSU defense to work with its passing. The shot didn't go, but Harris got his own miss. Blumenthal, right wing 3, grazes the wrong side of the net. Thomas, though, grabbed the air ball, and a foul coming up against B.J. Battle, and it'll be his 3rd. Nolan has more than 1 foul in this game except for B.J. Battle, and he has 3. It's been a rough go for him in this one. It's been a frustrating afternoon. Laurentis Thomas, the one at the foul line for the Bobcats, trailing by 14, and it'll stay 14 as that one bounces out. Jermaine Morgan, Kenny Funderburk back in the game for CSU. Hayward and Battle will sit down. Thomas leaving a couple points at the line, and those will be the ones you look back on when you're done. Trying to mount a comeback in this one, you leave 2 free ones. Bad pass by Sessions. CSU fortunate to get it back. Funderburk missed the mid-range shot, and a foul on the rebound will go against Aaron Robinson of Georgia College. Salim out, Harris in for CSU. He'll have a fresh 35 after the foul. Sessions, left side, back rim to 3. Kirkland on the spin, off the glass. Strong move for the junior out of Pensacola, Florida, to give him 8. Also has 6 rebounds, right around what he gets per game. 8.7 rebounds per game, and he has 8 and 6 today. Skip pass, Reed, a 3 in front of his own bench, not there. Laurentis Thomas, offensive rebound, and he puts it back in. CSU not rebounding well on the offensive end at the moment, on the defensive end rather. Underneath, they go back to Kirkland. Almost had it taken away from him as they collapse as soon as any post player touches it. Georgia College willing to give out open shots on the outside as Funderburk gets it from the corner, and again, not there. CSU is going to get open looks. They've got to knock them down, though. Every time Hayward or Kirkland touches it on the interior, it's immediately trapped by 2 or even 3 guys. That's why R.J. Sessions and Funderburk and Battle have all had open looks from beyond the arc. Right to the rim, no one steps in, and Terrell Harris in double figures now with 10 as he gets another easy lay-in. He has 8 of those 10 in the first 7 and change of this half. Columbus State defense has not been good in this second half. Kirkland again triple teamed as soon as he touched it. Lost the ball, but he was fouled on the play. Foul on Harris is his first. Kirkland will sit down. Dimitri Davis will come in as CSU will go small once again with Davis and Morgan playing as the 4 and the 5. Davis off the inbound, got a clean look, and it almost fell out before it goes back down for Dimitri. That's his 6th point of the game. And now I think Dimitri lost at contact. Had it in his hands. The officials stopped play for him. He was able to get it put back in, and so Georgia College will have it on the side to inbound with 12:23 to go. 45-31, CSU still keeping Georgia College at a decent distance away. They haven't been able to break it back inside single figures since early in that first half. And R.J. Sessions ties up Royal Thomas, and the possession arrow points CSU's way. It was 19-14 with 7:10 to go in the first half. CSU went on a 15-0 run over the next 7 minutes, and they have been up by double figures ever since. Funderburk won't get an opportunity to take that shot as a foul comes up against the Bobcats underneath. It'll be against Robert Armstrong. That'll be his first and the team's third. 45-31, CSU by 14, 11:52 to go, under 12 media timeout here on Cougar Sports TV. Today, a big day across Columbus State Athletics as the spring sports season officially kicked off. Already today, the Lady Cougar softball team was victorious 5-2 over Lynn University in the Peach Belt Conference Sunshine State Conference Challenge going on downtown in Columbus as R.J. Sessions hits his third three of the game. So the Lady Cougars off to a 1-0 start. They just started game number 2 for them today as they take on St. Leo from out of Florida, as the three is matched on the other end by Terrell Harris, who's having himself a phenomenal second half. CSU baseball started today as they have a doubleheader at West Alabama and Livingston, Alabama. Cougars victorious in game 1 of that one, 4-3, to have a 1-0 start to the season, with Reed called for the foul for Georgia College, his first. So strong starts for both of those two teams to the 2014 season, and they're hoping with the second games of their days going on now or still to come that they can finish the day at 2-0. We'll continue to check in and see how those teams are doing as the game progresses on. Funderburk's pass down the baseline goes all the way down the baseline and winds up about 3 rows deep in the bleachers on that side. Women's golf also in action today. Their first tournament of the spring going on in Kiowa Island, South Carolina. So they're getting underway. And the men's and women's tennis teams also in action today for the first time. 9-0 sweeps for both of them over Stillman College here at home. Back-to-back threes for Terrell Harris, who is putting the team on his back here in this second half, as he has 14 of his 16 here in the last 9.5 minutes. Backdoor cut, R.J. Sessions underneath, got loose. Good look from Ty Harris to find the freshman for the lay-in and put him in double figures with 11. Georgia College has scored 20 in this half. They had 17 in the first, as getting to the rim that time was Royal Thomas who gets the lay-in. Thomas and Harris have 20 of the 22 that have been scored in this half by the Bobcats. Laurentis Thomas with the other 2. Robert Armstrong falling to the floor after the move by Funderburk. And R.J. Sessions cashes in on the back end with his 4th triple of the game. He has 14. So CSU has had an answer. Every time Georgia College has cut it to right within 10 or 12, they've had a basket to move it back. They'd love, though, to add some separation to it. Question for Georgia College is, did you dig yourself in too big of a hole to get out of in the first? They trailed by 20 at 34-14. Shot clock winding out at the horn. Robinson has it blocked by Morgan, and CSU on the run. Funderburk tosses it up. Dimitri Davis tried to lay it in on the alley-oop, and he was fouled. The contact will send him to the line. Foul goes against Will Clifton. It's his first. So Dimitri Davis, who's having a nice afternoon, goes to the free throw line to try to add 2 more to it. Dimitri already with 6. His season high is 9. Came in averaging just under 3 points per game. Five fouls already on the Bobcats in this half. They committed just 3 in half number 1, but Dimitri Davis leaves 2 on the free throw line. So yeah, she's got to find an answer for around the rim. Dimitri Davis taking that one away. Leading it the other way now is Sessions. The step back over Clifton, and RJ starting to feel it. RJ's 5th from downtown. Give him 17. He has 14 in this half. Can always tell when RJ's starting to get going because the swagger pops out and he starts bouncing around the floor, and he draws a smile out of Robert Moore as Terry Sellers takes a timeout. What was an 11-point game turns into a 17-point game on back-to-back threes by RJ Sessions and a timeout with 8:46 to go. (56-39), 8:46 to go. CSU up by 17 as RJ Sessions has helped weather the Georgia College storm in this second half. Right back to where we started now when the second half began. Terrell Harris again from outside. It wasn't there though. And Jermaine Morgan takes the rebound away from Laurentis Thomas. Harris with the crossover to the rim. The shot fell off the front side. Funderburk underneath on the baseline, grabbed the rebound. So CSU back in control now with a chance to make it 19 or even 20 here on this possession. Sessions from inside the arc this time. The old dead ball off the back rim fell out. Right around 8 minutes to go here in the Lumpkin Center. Robinson drops it off. Laurentis Thomas fouled by Morgan on his way up. That right there was picture perfect what Robert Moore illustrated for us in the pregame interview. They said they love to dribble and drive into the center of the lane, and if you help, they'll dump it off to a guy for an easy layup, and that's what Robinson was going for. Under 8 media timeout, 7:58 to go, 56-39, Columbus State by 17. Stephen Williams here with you inside the Lumpkin Center. It's been a good Saturday afternoon so far for Columbus State Athletics. The Lady Cougars victorious 79-55 in the opening game of our doubleheader. knocking off Georgia College in a pivotal Peach Belt Conference battle. And so far, so good for the Cougar men, who lead by 16, 56-40, with 7:58 to go, trying to close it out and improve to 10-2 on their home court this year. Laurentis Thomas, the one at the line, and the second one could give him double figures if he could knock it down. Barely touched the rim, though, on the second. Thomas has struggled a little bit from the free throw line this afternoon. Georgia College starting to trap, and CSU able to pass out of it, and Jermaine Morgan gets the easy lay-in. Georgia College trying to force the action there, and instead it forced open an open layup because CSU handled it well. Outside, Robinson will try a three. Harris high with the rebound. Trying to run it the other way, has two guys chasing him, and he finally lost it at the very end of the dribble. On the other end, Blumenthal throwing it wildly at the rim. Dimitri Davis with the hard foul. And the officials will walk over and make sure that nothing is happening there. And now they're discussing whether or not that should be an intentional foul. They are going to say intentional foul against Dimitri Davis. That'll be his first, so they'll back them all away from the line. An intentional foul is 2 plus the ball. So Ryan Blumenthal will head to the stripe where he'll have 2 shots, and then the Bobcats will get possession back. Blumenthal with the friendly roll, able to get the second one. That gives him 5. Brandon Dawson, D'Angelo Kirkland back for CSU. Davis and Morgan sit. 17-point game, and after the intentional foul, Georgia College will have the basketball underneath its own rim. 7:14 to go. Robinson finally able to get it in. Laurentis Thomas has to go high to get it. Blumenthal, open corner, 3 is good. 4-point possession for Georgia College, who's hit 3 threes in this second half after hitting just 1 in the first half. 14-point game now, and again the pressure mounts. And CSU turns it over. Kirkland started to cut to the basket. Harris threw it to where he was standing. And it goes out of bounds at a 14-point game with 6:52 to go. Harris will come out, as will Funderburk. Jamad Salim and B.J. Battle come back in. This one not done yet from Columbus. 14-point game, still 7 minutes to go. Blumenthal will try for a second in a row. Not there. Battle jumped too early, though, for the rebound. Sessions with the block from behind that time. Knocked it away from Royal Thomas. But Georgia College, after the offensive rebound, will still get a second look at it. Kick out to the corner. Royal Thomas. They spread it around. Good job by Battle to close out on the shooter, Blumenthal. Robinson drops it off. Thomas underneath will finish it. There was the dribble and dish. And Laurentis Thomas has 11. It's a 12-point game again. This is the point where CSU has had an answer all afternoon. But this time they give it away. Blumenthal the other way, blocked on the backboard by R.J. Sessions. R.J. having none of that, and that will get them excited here in this building. Sessions blocks the layup attempt, and Robert Moore will take a timeout to talk things over as this one sliding away from his team just a little bit. 6:03 to go, 58-46. CSU still up by 12 as Robert Moore tries to get his team back focused for the final 6 and change. Strong move that time, though, by the freshman R.J. Sessions to not give up after the turnover. What should have been an easy lay-in and 2 points was blocked from behind, and that is a momentum stopper for CSU. Georgia College had things going in its favor, had the steal and the run out, but because of the block, they're able to slow that momentum up just a little bit. CSU basketball after the timeout. They're going to come back and try to trap Jamad Saleem in the backcourt. He stepped through the double team and drew a foul. Foul goes on Aaron Robinson. It's his third. He's the only player on the Georgia College roster with more than one foul. B.J. Battle, the only one with more than one foul on the other side. Georgia College with 6 now in the half, which means from here on out, CSU gets free throws. R.J. Sessions helping carry the load in this half. The floater, good for the freshman. Give him 19. He had 3 at halftime. He has 16 in this half. Underneath, Harris, an acrobatic move, didn't get the shot. The follow for Laurentis Thomas, though, is good. So again, Georgia College just hangs around right in this 12-point area. CSU probably needs one more final push to put them away for good. But a Georgia College push could do the opposite. RJ from NBA range, way off. And the rebound pulled in by Royal Thomas. Blumenthal, 3 on the other end, short. Dawson rebound. That last shot from RJ, you look at it and you say, why? But it's one of those things that Robert Moore is willing to live with. RJ, a big-time shooter, knocks it down from all over the court, so sometimes he's going to take some that you're not happy with, but you don't want him to get gun-shy. Saleem gets around Thomas, sets up Dawson. They kick it back out, though. 10 on the shot clock. RJ off the dribble, drives, the finger roll goes down. RJ Sessions doing it all in the second half. 21 for the freshman. And a steal on the other end. Sessions wanting the run out, has it, the finger roll, basket, and one. RJ Sessions taking over the second half for CSU. 20 points in 16 minutes of action here in this half. And now he'll go to the line to try to add one more to it. 29 is his high. He had that against Lander the first game back from the Christmas break. 23 for him and counting right now. Make it 24. That foul, by the way, was the 4th on Aaron Robinson, who stays on the court. 17-point game, and CSU had the answer again when they got close. That ball deflected, so no over and back coming up. Sessions, the one that got a hand on it. RJ, the game leader, with 24 now. Blumenthal, floater over Hayward, and the teardrop falls through. Blumenthal into double figures. He has 10. Third Bobcat to reach double figures. RJ Sessions, the only one in double figures for CSU. Bad pass by Saleem is stolen, and Georgia College with numbers. Robinson off to Royal Thomas. Good defense by Battle, stayed on the floor, forced the bad shot, and thwarts a transition opportunity. 3:20 to go, 15-point game, and a foul on the ball committed by Royal Thomas. 3:21 sitting on the clock, 65-50. Final media timeout from Columbus on this Saturday afternoon. 15-point edge, CSU in front. 65-50, Columbus State in front here on Cougar Sports TV. The foul committed by Royal Thomas prior to the timeout was the 8th against Georgia College in the half, which means CSU in the 1-1. It'll be Jamad Salim looking for his 3rd point of the game on the front end of this 1-1. Jamad way off the mark on that one. 2 points and 4 assists in this one for the junior from Augusta. Royal Thomas to the rim. The finger roll with the left hand doesn't go, but he's fouled, and so he'll head to the stripe. Foul goes against Brandon Dawson. It's his first. That's 5 against CSU, so they're still a foul away from the bonus. Royal Thomas with 8 points, 6 of them in this half. Now 7, as Nick Turner and Jermaine Morgan will come into the game. Salim will sit down, as will Brandon Dawson. A check of things for you in the softball world. Columbus State in front 1-0 over St. Leo in the second game of its doubleheader. We'll see about baseball and when they're getting started at West Alabama. Full court press time from Georgia College now, as CSU is able to get the ball in bounds. BJ Battle had it, and they get it across midcourt just fine. Jermaine Morgan trying to put on a dribbling exhibition, not necessarily his strong suit. Skip pass, Battle, mid-range jumper off the glass, too strong. Shane Hayward keeping it alive for himself, though, and earning a new 35. Gets it back out near the stripe for Nick Turner, and Robert Moore says, let's stop it right here and let's run some clock. That won't happen, though, because Royal Thomas commits a foul against Turner. 3rd against Thomas, and Turner will head to the line for the final 1-1 of the game for CSU. Nick averaging 3 points per game, has a chance to get to that number here, but free throw wasn't there. CSU just 4 of 7 from the line at the moment. Harris missed his opportunity at a layup. Laurentis Thomas laying on the floor, able to get a timeout called. With 2:34 to go, 65-52, 13-point game. Timeout, Georgia College trying to mount one last effort to get back in this one in the final 2.5 minutes. Columbus State has not allowed Georgia College to get within single digits, although the Bobcats have mounted a couple of runs in this half and have had much better looking offense. CSU has had an answer, and that answer has usually been R.J. Sessions. Robinson off the kick out, back rim on the 3, Morgan the rebound. Jermaine will rush it into the front court, and a foul coming up from behind. Called against Laurentis Thomas. CSU into the double bonus now. So Jermaine Morgan will have a chance to add 2 from the line. CSU in a big stretch of games for them in this one right now as they struggle down the stretch to close things out at the line. Georgia College here today, and then Georgia Southwestern comes in here on Saturday. The Hurricanes defeated CSU by 6 in Americus a week ago. So Georgia Southwestern will be here Thursday night as Jermaine Morgan missed them both. Then North Georgia comes to town a week from today. A game of 2 teams that are right now tied in the Peach Belt standings as that 3 goes down, and look at the scoreboard, it's a 10-point game. Blumenthal able to knock that one down. And a CSU turnover. Georgia College with the steal. B.J. Battle, though, gets the steal on the other side, and it's showtime. Unbelievable play from B.J. Battle in front of the Georgia College bench. And a foul coming up on the shot attempt by Harris. I believe B.J. Battle, the one called for the foul, and that'll be his fourth. So this one got down to 10, and then CSU turned it over. Georgia College on the other end trying the outlet pass to lead it out in transition to get it to single digits, and B.J. Battle with quite the athletic play in front of the Georgia College bench to keep it inbounds, and not only keep it inbounds, but toss it to a teammate, and R.J. Sessions had the run out for the slam. Kirkland in, Hayward out for CSU, as it's Terrell Harris at the foul line. His second half performance being overshadowed at the moment by the second half of R.J. Sessions. Harris, though, has been equally as good in this half, and now a foul coming up, committed by Reed, and Georgia College is going to force CSU to close this game out from the foul line. Not a bad idea when CSU's 3 of 9 from the stripe today. Still double bonus, though. Jermaine Morgan at the line where he'll have 2. CSU has missed its last 4 from the free throw line. Jermaine splits the pair. D'Angelo Kirkland with the rebound and stick back. And that may be all she wrote for Georgia College. That one will hurt a little bit more because they had gotten them to just 1 point. Blumenthal misses the 3. Reed the offensive rebound. He'll try one of his own. Misses off to the left, and R.J. Sessions called for the body contact. And Robert Moore looks at him and says, why? It wasn't too much of a foul, but why put yourself in that situation is what Robert Moore is asking. So Alex Reed will have 3 free throws with the clock stopped to try to pull them within 11. Reed with 4 in the game so far. Make it 5 as he gets 2 out of the 3. And now Laurentis Thomas will come in, and we'll see who he's going in place of. It will be Reed. He had 6 on the floor for a second. So back to the full court press, 12-point game, 1:21 to go. A near turnover, but Nick Turner able to run and get it. And now a foul coming up. It'll send Turner to the other end for 2 shots as Blumenthal commits it. Nick Turner to the foul line with 1:18 to go. Trying to close this one out, a 12-point game. CSU with late free throws here can really extend this one out. It's been all CSU for most of the afternoon. Since the 7-minute mark in the first half when it was 19-14, the 15-0 run was what really put it away for CSU. They went up by 20, had a 17-point lead at halftime, and Georgia College has yet to get within single digits. They've gotten it as close as 10, but that's it. Blumenthal's 3 off the front rim, and a foul on the rebound coming up against Laurentis Thomas of Georgia College, and D'Angelo Kirkland will walk to the other end for free throws. So we're just going to drag this one out down the stretch. CSU is going to get the victory. They're going to improve to 11-7, protect home court, be 5-6 in Peach Belt Conference play, and they'll improve to 10-2 on their home floor this season in what really should be 12-0. D'Angelo Kirkland, a double-figure day for the junior to go along with 7 rebounds. That was a point number 11 for him. 73-58 now, 1:06 showing on the clock, make it 74-58. 66 seconds to go. CSU on its way to a clean sweep of a doubleheader here on their home floor. Harris, right wing, not there. R.J. Sessions the rebound, and this time it looks like they're not going to foul. This time they'll let CSU just run some of this clock out, and of course they will have to take another shot because there's 20 seconds different between the two clocks. CSU, the men's and women's programs on their way to its 4th consecutive sweep of a doubleheader on this floor. Laurentis Thomas does commit the foul to send D'Angelo Kirkland to the line with 36 seconds to go. CSU, those last 4 home games, they swept. They're going to sweep Georgia College today. They swept Flagler, swept Armstrong, and swept UNC Pembroke. So it'll be 4 consecutive sweeps for the basketball programs here at CSU on their home court. Now they've just got to figure out how to do it on the road. 17-point margin now as this late fouling by Georgia College is going to extend this game back out to where it was near halftime. 17-point game as the clock ticks down with 34. Reed, a long 3, goes down. Alex Reed with the 3, and Terry Sellers will take a timeout. Coaching situations here late in the ball game with 30.4 seconds to go. 75-61. The outcome of this game not in doubt. But Terry Sellers, a veteran, using this to coach up his guys for situations down the stretch when they may need something like this. R.J. Sessions has 26. He's going to finish as the game leader in this one. He had 3 points at halftime. And we'll hopefully get a chance to speak to the Cougar freshman guard when this one is all done. We will speak with Robert Moore in postgame as well, so don't go anywhere once this one ends as we try to wrap things up from the Lumpkin Center. Again, this is the start of a 3-game homestand. Back here on Thursday night for Georgia Southwestern, and then on Saturday, doubleheader coming up with North Georgia in this building. We'll have both of those for you. Softball will hit the air on Cougar Sports TV for the first time on Friday of this upcoming week in the Cougar Classic. They'll play 3 games on Cougar Sports TV. We'll have them at 1, 4:30, and 6:30. And then baseball hits the air for the first time a week from tomorrow, as we'll see the Cougars in action against Lynn next Sunday afternoon. Home run pass for D'Angelo Kirkland, makes the catch and the lay-in, so the press does nothing against CSU there. Kirkland adds on. He has 15 points now, and it's a 16-point game. Royal Thomas for 3. No, Kirkland grabs his 8th rebound, shot clock off, and that should do it from the Lumpkin Center. 77-61. CSU will get the victory on this Saturday afternoon as they finish off the sweep of Georgia College. Clean sweep for the Cougars in Peach Belt Conference action, and the Cougars have wrapped it up 77-61. A good afternoon for both the Cougars and the Lady Cougars here on the floor of the Lumpkin Center. Lady Cougars win it 79-55. The men win it 77-61 over Georgia College here to improve to 11-7, 5-6 overall. Georgia College will fall to 7-11, 3-8 in Peach Belt Conference play, and that'll be the 3rd straight loss for the Bobcats and their 4th in 5 games. Final scoring tallies for you. R.J. Sessions gets 26 to lead the way. D'Angelo Kirkland finished with 15, 11 of them here in the second half. B.J. Battle had 6. Kenny Funderburk had 9 all in the first. Shane Hayward with 4. Jamad Salim with 2. Ty Harris with 2. Nick Turner with 4. Dimitri Davis with 6. Jermaine Morgan with 3. Scoring spread across the board in this one as we get set to talk with R.J. Sessions here in the postgame, the freshman from out of Columbus, Georgia. 26 points for you today. Let's talk R.J. first. You have 3 going into the locker room at halftime. What changed from half 1 to 2?
Well, coach just kept telling me to shoot it. You know, you're a shooter, keep shooting. That's the only way you're going to get hot. And the first one went down, and I was like, oh, yeah, the rest of them going in.
You watch it, and we watch you all the time. You make the shot, you bounce around. And once you see one go through, does it feel like all of them are?
Yeah, I get real confident with it. So when I shoot with confidence, it feels like, it's all I'm going in.
About the first 12 minutes of the first half, it was back and forth. It was close. It was kind of ugly and sloppy offensively, and then you all put together a big run. What changed in that last 7 minutes or so?
Well, we just had to pick up the pressure consistently, and coach was telling us that the team couldn't handle pressure, so apply pressure on them. So we just kept pressure.
And then in the second half, every time they mounted a little bit of a run and tried to get back in it seemed like you all had the answer.
Yeah, no, we have big players like D'Lo, Jamad, BJ, Kenny, Jermaine coming off the bench. So it's like we just have players that fit that role to make big plays and big stops for us so we can push the lead higher and higher.
Now you come back Thursday night. You just saw Georgia Southwestern once. What has to change from the first time you played them to Thursday night to make it a win?
We got to cut down on the turnovers and apply pressure on them.
All right, RJ, 26 points today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
RJ Sessions helping us wrap it up here from the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon. 26 for him in a victory for CSU as they close it out. 77-61, they win it over Georgia College. Cougar head coach Robert Moore will be down here with us in just a few minutes to wrap things up after he finishes up with Scott Miller in the postgame. Your other scoring numbers for Georgia College: Terrell Harris gets 17. Royal Thomas finishes in double figures with 10. Laurentis Thomas in double figures has 13. Blumenthal also with more than 10. He has 13 as well. So 4 Bobcats finish in double figures. The problem was only 5 guys scored for Georgia College. Alex Reed got 8 off the bench to finish things out as the only other Bobcat to score. So CSU gets back on the winning side of things after they fall on Saturday to Georgia Southwestern, and that's who they'll have to go up against now on Thursday night. It'll be a tough task as the Hurricanes come in here for the final meeting between the two of the regular season, and CSU badly needs the victory on its home floor, and a victory against a good team like that could do wonders for this team as they go forward, and as they've proven. They've been tough on this court. They're 10-2 this season, and again, anybody will tell you that's watched them play, they really should be 12-0 on their home floor this season. They've had a couple that have gotten away from them. Final shooting numbers look like this. CSU shoots 59% in the second half. They shoot 50 for the game, 30 of 60. 8 of 17 from beyond the arc, 47%. They were 9 of 17 from the foul line. That's a number that you'd like to see improve. Georgia College, 35% for the game, 6 of 21 from downtown and 11 of 17 from the foul line as they struggled offensively in pretty much every facet of it. They were much better in the second half. They had just 17 points in half number 1, and that's where they dug themselves a hole they couldn't get out of. They scored 44 in the second half, but again, it was too little too late for the Bobcats. CSU wins the battle on the glass 40-35, forces 15 turnovers, commits 12 of its own, on their way to a 77-61 victory. So again, back here Thursday night, Georgia Southwestern comes in here, 5:30 and 7:30 the tip times from the Lumpkin Center. Of course, Cougar Sports TV, your home for your basketball on Thursday night between these two programs. And then on Saturday, North Georgia is in here for a 1:30, 3:30 showdown with the Lady Cougars and Cougars. And that will be the second to last home game of the year for CSU. The final one will come up on the 22nd when Young Harris comes in here for homecoming on a Saturday afternoon to wrap up the home portion of the 2013-14 regular season. Cougar head coach Robert Moore stopping in with us now. Coach, it seemed like the game completely changed with about 7 minutes to go in the first half. It was a 5-point game, and you all hold them without a point for 7 minutes. What switched at that 7-minute mark?
I thought we played great defense. The defense that we play is the amoeba zone, which is a 1-1-3 zone, and our guys have been doing a great job since the fall, just working on those kind of things. And I thought our slides were good. I thought we caused some problems because they were not great outside shooters. They just wanted to drive the ball and get in the lane. I thought we did an excellent job of that. I thought the second half we kind of got lackadaisical and just gave up the baseline too much, but it was an overall great team effort.
It wasn't exactly the prettiest of offensive performances, especially in that first half, but it didn't matter. 17 points and a half. It has to be as good as it gets all year defensively.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was one of our best defensive halves since I've been here at Columbus State. And luckily that RJ is on our team because he's just turned turn the knob up in offense in the second half.
Let's talk about RJ. You look at what he did before Christmas. He was about just south of 6 points per game. And here we go into the second half of the year. He's taken on a bigger role, and he just looks like his confidence grows every single night he steps out there if he needs to have confidence grow.
Yeah, me and you both know RJ. He's not lacking for confidence at all. He's a player. And when you have guys like that and come into your program, you just got to make sure they get shots. And one of the things I emphasize in the locker room today, if RJ get hot, BJ, Kenny, whoever, just keep feeding the guy the ball. And I thought tonight we did a great job of just getting RJ shots. And when he gets in a groove like that, he can make them.
You look at it, he didn't get a big night from Kenny. BJ Battle was wrestling foul trouble all night long, but yet it seemed like other guys picked up the slack. D'Angelo Kirkland gets into double figures. You get other points from different spots that maybe you're not used to getting.
Oh, yeah, I think our team is very deep. And going down the stretch with so many teams playing so many games back to back, I think that the depth that we have can really help us. And I'm just looking forward to our guys just trying to put a streak together here so we can make a run.
What is it about this building? These guys are different players in here. 10-2 this year, and the two that they had were ones that got away from them.
I know sometimes I wonder, can I coach on the road? Because I'm pretty good at this place here. But I think it's the comfort zone. They love playing at home. You get to sleep in your own bed. You get to go to the cafeteria. You don't have to go eat on the road, stop, use the bathroom, that kind of stuff. So I think, we just got to find a way to win a road game and just have some toughness about us. But I think they just love playing in the Lumpkin Center. Great place to play in.
Well, good news for you. The next two are at home. Georgia Southwestern comes in here on Thursday. You just saw them. I was asking RJ about it. What has to change from last week to next week when they come back in here? He said fixing turnovers. What else has to change?
Oh, I think we got to have a total team effort on the defensive end of the ball, and that's where it starts. I thought tonight our defense was great against Georgia College, and we got to step it up a notch against Georgia Southwestern. They got some great players, and they run sort of the same offense Georgia College run, that dribble drive, and we just got to learn to keep people out of the lane so they don't drive it at us and make it hard for us to guard them. So I think more than anything, just getting defensive stops. We gave them too many wide open shots down there at Georgia Southwestern.
Well, Coach, 4 in a row for you here in this building and a 16-point win today. We'll see you on Thursday.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Head coach Robert Moore, as we wrap things up from the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon, a successful one inside the Peach Belt Conference for Columbus State University. A Saturday afternoon sweep, 79-55. The Lady Cougars wrap up game number one. Jonathan Norton's group with as dominant a performance as they've put together at any point this season as they run away from the Bobcats in game number one. 77-61 the final in game number two as Robert Moore's team plays its best defensive half of basketball en route to a 20-point lead, a 17-point halftime lead, and then a cruise control second half in which they ran away and picked up an easy victory in that one as well. So all in all, a great Saturday afternoon inside the Lumpkin Center. We're back here on Thursday night, 5:30 and 7:30. Georgia Southwestern comes calling for what should be two very good ball games on the floor here of the Lumpkin Center. And until then, we look forward to seeing you, and we hope you join us again Thursday night. For everyone at Columbus State University and Cougar Sports TV, this is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.